Hey guys, so when you're warming up before these runs, we want to be efficient in the time that we're doing that, but really deliberate about a couple of things. One of them is we don't want to just go start stretching. We don't want to just stretch muscles and then try to use them to run with. We want to talk about grounding. We're going to talk about breathing a little bit. We're going to talk about turning some muscles on, activating the central nervous system, and then going into movement. But we want that warm-up to be one that you can do outside or wherever you are, and then really lead right into your running. So I have Taylor with me, and I'm going to coach her through it while I'm talking to you. The first thing I want you to do is an inchworm, tried and true, running warm-up exercise. I'm going to have Taylor just talking to you a little bit, and walk out to basically plank. Now, as she's walking out, I want to make sure that she's already active. The second that her hands hit the ground, she's in plank, essentially. So she's core active. I would cue her to come up just a little bit because she's resisting, gravity. From here, I want her to take one breath. Just inhale, kind of fill up the space back here. Exhale, and then walk back. As you're walking back, Taylor, keep your heels pressing down. Bend the knees when you need to, but keep your hands on the ground. That's to keep her grounded. I don't want her just forcing her way back, trying to get a stretch. I want her to stay grounded, and I want you to deliver a breath from here as well. Good. Do that a couple more times. In the warm-up, I'd like for you to do this 5 times, especially if you really are active in that position. You get a good breath here and a good breath on the way back. It should be extremely effective and much more so than just walking out 10 times more carelessly. Let's pretend that was your 5th one. Okay, so on the 5th one, or after the 5th one, walk back out to the plank before you take over. Okay, so from there, I do want to get a little bit of mobility through the ankles. So start to walk back until you feel a little bit of a stretch through the calves right there. Good, hold. And then I'm just going to have you kind of pump the heels. So, yep, exactly right. Bend one knee, that's going to place the stretch on the other side. Go to the other side. Good, do that. Alternate maybe 10 times to get both sides. The second thing I want you to do there, we're going to pretend that she's done 10 of those, is now bend the knees and do the same thing. So as with the bend knee, basically just biasing one side. So we want to get the calf and the soleus both, and that'll do that for us. Great. So that's number 2. From there, great job, by the way. From there, you can go either right into Spider-Man. If you're really tight through the hips and hip flexors, then you may not be able to just transfer straight into that. But just give yourself a second. One of my favorite things to do, folks, is just to leave the knee down, because I'd rather you be here grounded and anchored and actually get the benefit of the movement than to be struggling to try to get here and end up, compensating in some way that's not beneficial. So from here, she's good. She's got plenty of flexibility there. The same thing, I'm going to take a couple of breaths there, just so that you really stay grounded in the position. She's core active, so that some of the hip muscles can relax a little bit. And then I want you to do 5 rotations on the right arm, if you're going to the right side. Good. And then come back down. So do that on an exhale. So you're inhaling here, exhaling through the rotation. We're going to do that 5 times. One thing to be careful of, especially on the right side, is that we don't prematurely rotate the right foot or hip and draw the foot off the ground. Try to stay anchored on that side, or the left if you're going that way. Let's do a couple on the left side. And so just to see the same kind of thing. This is good. It gives me a chance to coach it. As you're rotating this way, we're gonna make sure that you stay stable on that shoulder blade and that we don't just shift the weight over to that side and collapse into it. So stay active here, and always think about kind of pressing yourself up, over to the left. Still on an exhale, full breath cycle, inhale, exhale. Good. Taylor, that was extraordinary. So come on up. Now going into standing things, I want you to go into a staggered stance. So you can challenge this as much as you want. The further out and the closer in you go, the more of a challenge that is in terms of balance. But we're going to start to open up a little bit more movement this way. Do a few of these, yeah. So we're lengthening out kind of this whole side. I want you to step through and just hold bounce for a second. Good. Establish control and then go right back to it. I don't need to make this a big balance challenge. I just want you to start wiring the central nervous system to be ready for that. We're getting a little bit of control, side to side. Good. A little bit of frontal plane control, which is good, but I don't want to draw it out until the balance. Okay, so let's do 5, maybe 5 to 10 on this side. Again, once you just establish that you're in control in that position, move on to the next one. Good. Let's do the other side, Taylor. Again, we'll pretend that she's done 10. Good, so again, she's lengthening out that whole stretch, but she has more movement coming, so she can't just rest in that. If you've ever seen people just kind of hanging out, in like a hip flexor stretch, this is not that. You're active, you've got something else to do, and so you can't just kind of hang out there. Your core has to be ready, your trunk has to be ready to finish the movement. Nice job. Okay, last thing. So from there we're going to do a reverse lunge. We're working in more and more rotation, which we need for running. We need the upper body to rotate. The upper body helps to drive us in terms of gait. So reverse lunge, we're going to cross over this side, coming back up, cross over the other side. You don't have to necessarily touch elbow to knee, so you'll be able to, some of you won't, but that doesn't matter. It's more that we're just encouraging the opposite arm and leg to work together, and again, kind of wiring the nervous system to be better prepared to do that in running gait.